This video is to help you understand natural selection a little bit better. Specifically, we're looking at defining variation, distribution, and generation. So I want to show this video to you and be looking for how histograms are used and how histograms
Biologists
reveal
use graphs
variation.
called histograms to show variation in populations of organisms. Let's look at a population of australopes to understand how histograms can show variation. If you look at the australopes, you can see that although they are all from the same population, they are all different from each other. They have different traits. For example, the australopes vary in color from yellow to green to blue, and they have different amounts of fur on their bodies. Their necks range from very short to very long. These are examples of variation in the australope population. If the population is broken into groups according to a single feature, such as the length of their neck, and they line up according to the trait of how long their necks are, we can see how many individuals have short necks and how many have medium, long, and very long necks. The lines of organisms are like bars in a graph. The taller the bar in the graph, the more organisms that have that neck length. This type of graph is called a histogram. This is the same histogram represented in a different way. It shows the same variation in neck length within the australope population. If the australopes are grouped by a different feature, the shape of the histogram will change. Now the australopes are lining up according to color. You could count how many australopes are each color by looking at every individual australope, one by one. But using a histogram is easier. One quick look shows that most of the australopes in this population are blue, some are yellow, and a small amount are green. Histograms help biologists understand the variation of traits in a population. They are also useful for comparing two or more populations or for investigating how populations change over time.
So let's define some of those words for you. Variation, as you saw in that video, is any difference in traits between individual organisms. So here in this picture, you can see these australopes show variation in their body color. Distribution, as it mentioned, is the number of individuals with each trait in a population. So we can show distributions on these histograms really easily here. This histogram shows the variation in the australope's body color. So you can see there's a majority of them are blue. There's a few green ones down there right in the middle. And then that second most color is yellow. So the first check for understanding: what are differences that exist naturally among members of a population or species called? Next question: what is the term used to describe the number of individuals with each trait within a population? A histogram is a graph that uses bars to show how properties or values are distributed within the group. So, what does a histogram show? Here's 4 different histograms labeled A, B, C, and D. You're going to get a chance to practice reading these histograms and answering some questions, so give it a shot. Which histogram shows a population that's all one color? Which histogram shows a population with a lot of variation? Which histogram shows a population with mostly yellow australopes and some variation? Which histogram shows the same variation as histogram B, but a different distribution of traits? So as you work through those, our new key concept that you can make sure you're taking note of is a population can be described by the traits present and by the number of individuals who have each trait.